I think it is a book of its time. I think it's the only book I know that has started to deal with that big question is, if young people cannot find anywhere to live, then how is that going to affect how they live? In other words, if you can't get a flat, if you're sharing with too many people, if the possibility of leaving home isn't great because that's not available to you. And there's a moment early in the novel where Julian, the Englishman, says to Ava, who's the Irish woman, you are never going to be able to buy a house in your life. It will never be available to you. And he's a banker, he's making more money, but he's pointing to you as the English teacher, that if you don't do something big with your life, like become a lawyer, an accountant, or a doctor, like there's no chance for you. You will never have your own place to live. And when the novel begins, you're living in this extraordinary Airbnb with two other women, but you get offered a place by two other people later, in which they just simply put a bedroom in the living room, and the door of the flat opens into the living room. So your bed is sort of right in the middle of what everything's going on, and that's an offer, But that the whole business of what Ava's doing all the time is her helplessness, her homelessness arises from an economic situation which she finds herself, which so many people in Ireland do, and indeed in England.
Yeah, it's impossible to parody. Like recently, when I was looking for a place in London, I saw somewhere advertised there was a converted laundry room and it still had a washing machine. And it said in the advert, features washing machine. Like it's this great boon to your quality of life to live in essentially a closet.